This is an emergency. Can you hear me, Mirage? Roll out. Calling all Autobots. Calling all Autobots.
I think I didn't even just look at it as just big. I think projects in the past, I mean, Bay goes big, you know, the director Michael Bay and what he's done with the legacy of the franchise. And Bumblebee went very intimate, you know, with creating Bumblebee in a relationship with Charlie. And what I admire about both of them was like, I love action, I love the intimacy of Bumblebee. How can I bring me some level of authenticity and my voice to this world and to this franchise and not just think about scope. And so that's where it started. You know, when getting the script, I was like, oh, they're going to Peru. Oh, there's an opportunity for someone like Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback to be in this film. Oh, you know, there's a car that has kind of like a blank slate for me to create a Autobot from, which was Mirage, as he's a Porsche and played by Pete Davidson. And then there was the Maximals, the new beasts who have never been in live action. So it checked a lot of boxes in terms of a director and a very challenging course because I haven't done anything this big. But I just was always a fan. So for me to even tap into that was just amazing.
Jimmy O here from Joblo. And yes, I'm here at the Transformers Rise of the Beast Porsche Driving Experience. Yeah, I'm getting behind the wheel, baby.
The Porsche Driving Center is a very unique experience in and of itself. You get to basically be a race car driver for a day. Yeah, I think that, you know, in terms of, you know, everything on this movie, all the discussions when I came on, everything that Steven was telling me about where he wanted to start with every character was just, you know, what is the character, what is the motivation, who are they? Everything grew out of that, you know. So once like you say, Steven started with this blank slate and really created this great character. It was, you know, what is the car that fits that best? And I think that, you know, you guys had settled on Porsche for many reasons, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think when we went down the list of traits and trying to figure out who can be flashy, who can be somewhat of a rebel and outlaw and things like that, this particular car kind of fit those boxes. Being rare, you know, one of 55, if you will, you know, in terms of the world. And then like having that flashy component, being fast, being precise in his fighting choreography, all just fell underneath his traits. And so like the collaborations felt really perfect when creating Mirage. We didn't have Pete Davidson at first. You know, we had him much later down the road, but like the essence was already there in both the vehicle and the character. It's crazy, like the movements and things like that. The fact that, you know, he would turn into 3 different cars and Mirage out, if you will, on the Williamsburg Bridge, but then show off and do these little things. It was just like, all right, that's Mirage. And then when looking at actors, it was like, Pete Davidson's a little rebel to the game. You know, it's like the way he brings to the table, and he also respects like that era of the 90s and knows it very well. He like add little tidbits and nuggets throughout that you can really feel the culture there. He was quoting Jim Carrey movies and things like that, tapping into Adam Sandler while we were in the booth. And I'm like, where's that from? He's like, I feel like, you know, if he watched movies, this is what he would do. And I was like, that's exactly what Mirage would do. And it was really fun to collaborate with him because he brought that to life.
When I first got involved with Transformers Rise of the Beasts, they were still trying to decide what Mirage was going to be, and there were certain voices in there that were saying, I think it should be a Porsche. We just knew that Porsche was going to be one of those things that we'd be able to have a lot of fun with.
Science behind it, you know, like I was like, I will let the car to do this, and he's like doing the math, and I was like, yeah, cool, exactly, James.
That's what
we want to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it also came down to, it's funny trying to get cars to do cool stuff because a lot of times they're built to not do cool stuff in the sense that, you know, you want them to slide sideways, you want them to do this and that, but they, you know, they hug the road like they're on rails. Like a lot of times to get a car to do something that's cool in a movie, you have to make it specialized to do that. And I think working with Porsche, they're always very hands-on on a movie. There's always going to be mechanics, there's always going to be support and help. So when we would come up with something special we wanted it to do, it would be a matter of just going to the experts, the driver, Brett Smurs drove everything you see in the movie, and all the Porsche guys to just find a way to make it happen technically.
Exactly. So like one challenging one, for example, would be like when a car transforms driving backwards to forward again. Like the backwards Porsche is clearly on the lot, you know, and I'm working with Anthony Ramos to get the right angle and the right shot to match what these guys will then shoot. As soon as he transforms, we want the car to take off and zoom out, and that could look kind of in CGI world could almost look really fake.
Yeah.
So like trying to match that one shot where like finally transforms and takes off with what they would capture on the day in Williamsburg and the precision that they would have to do to switch the car around to start to drive. It's pretty cool. So stuff like that excites me and also is a headache to get. Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, we had a whole car that was backwards.
Yeah.
The driver's in the back seat driving.
Yeah.
So for when it drives backwards, and we actually drove that across the bridge in New York, like all through the streets of New York. And then there's another one where the driver actually sits on the roof, like sits on the back above the car, so the actors could be in the car.
No hands.
And again, so we could shoot a lot of movies would just shoot this on blue screen. You know, that stuff we went out, we did it in real environments and really made sure that we got everything as practically as we could. Other than when you see robots, it's mostly real to have a lot of fun with.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, you are off. Let's go. Pedal to the metal. Down the pedal. Stay on it, do it. Nice. There you go. And now show me what you got. Good. Keep on it, keep on it. Good. Now start your brakes. There you go. Trail that is perfect.
Thank you so much, Porsche Driving Experience. I'll never forget this. I will never forget this. Go see, go rent, get it. Transformers, Rise of the Beast.